We are live here on a Wednesday. This is Rich Lieberman Media Pulse, the last day of July. Time is traveling way too far, but whatever the case. If you're watching live, welcome to the show. If you are watching later on at a moment that is more convenient for you, welcome aboard. We don't care what time of the day you watch us, that you do watch me, you subscribe, make a contribution so that I can continue to give you all the news that you won't get anywhere else. Speaking of which, Channel 2, and a lot of is going on there, both internally, externally, all over the place. It really is kind of a weird. I hate that word. It's a really lazy term, but it's true here. I have been telling you for over a year now that eventually KTVU, Fox, the firm, one of their stations here in the Bay Area, that they would do away with sports. Pretty much so. Oh, they'd have some mundane person to man the desk and all that if something huge broke out or happened. In any event, let's not bury the lead. Joe Fonzi is effectively not at KTVU anymore. We may add now another person who's no longer at KTVU. That's Jason Applebaum. Used to be at Cron, went to KTVU, was kind of a backup anchor, primary anchor, did some reporting, helped out on the various football broadcasts that they do at Channel 2. No longer. Pretty much KTVU is barren. Now, I said, in fact, years ago, I speculated that Fox would do away with its O&O stations sports reports, not the football, of course. Fox carries National Football League, most of which is the NF and the NFC, a very huge part of their platforms. But ironically enough, that they would basically get rid of sports reports at the stations because they understood that most people these days don't watch television news to get sports. You know, that's one thing Gary Radnich had right. And I agreed with him at the time and said as much. He said that sports would be devalued. The only people that tune into sports on a local newscast just happen to be there, maybe a few stragglers, but by and large, nobody tunes in. Still the case. Nobody tunes in to watch sports. It's an added cost. And in these penny pinching times, and these companies that look at dollars and cents with utmost regularity, that they would do away. Fox was the first. And I said that not only are they going to do away with sports, which they pretty much have done, although they'll have, like I said, a few stragglers on to fill in every now and then. And when they do 49ers broadcasts, I don't know what they're going to do, but I get to that in a moment. That others would follow Fox, others in this market. They're already devaluing sports at television stations across the nation, but nobody has really wiped it out off the map. NBC locally, they have the NBC Sports Bay Area, which is the cable outlet that covers, the Giants, the A's. That's NBC Sports California, just to be correct. But NBC San Jose doesn't really have sports in their regular nightly news presentation. Another irony here, they are sending people over to Paris to cover the Olympics. And I gather that that's a special event and all that. But it still just shows you nobody watches television news. Nobody watches TV news for that matter in general. Only a certain segment, a demo, specifically older people. But enough of that. I'm going to predict that other stations, this is not going out on a limb, other stations in the market will do away with sports. How they do it, I don't know. Gradually, of course. Look at Channel 7, KGO, Disney, ABC 7. One of their backup anchors, Casey Pratt, he left Channel 7 to go work as a press liaison for Mayor of Oakland, Shane Tao. Now, gather that in for a moment. That's how bad the business has become. Unsecure, no benefits, terrible schedules, lack of cohesiveness. Yeah, Casey Pratt. Let's go to something a little bit more stable, like a mayor who is under recall, who is politically turbulent, and well, they want to get away. You know, the Southwest commercial want to get away. Well, they want to get away. Everybody that wants to get away from the business, television news, radio. My goodness. Back to the sports. So KTVU has pretty much done away with sports. No Jason Applebaum. No Joe Fonzi, and I know that Fonzi had to take care of personal stuff, probably family related and all that. But it's really a sad, sad situation there. This is the station that years ago had Gary Park. Remember Gary Park? And Marky Banyas, who really was just told to leave, right? He was not retiring. They told him to retire, and he took a golden parachute in any event. KTVU is now basically devoid of sports. And as I said, excuse me, still trying to get over this cold, they will have some person fill in to give sports, but their two main prominent sports anchors are gone at KTVU. And it's really not going to be anything different at the other stations. I have a feeling that this is going to be watched and viewed and taken into account at KRON, at CBS 5. And of course, it's already taking place at Channel 7, ABC 7, Disney. So I'm not surprised. And if you look across the country, folks, this is something that these companies that are watching and running these news departments, the money is very scarce. The profit margin is extremely thin. So any kind of cost cutting that they can do, they will. One of those is sports. It's happening at Fox 2 in Oakland, KTVU. It's just simply too expensive. Or in this venue, why pay for something as an added cost when it really doesn't affect anything that we're going to do ratings-wise? When it hits the bottom line, bye-bye. Or as I say, sayonara. So just take that into account. It is a Wednesday, last day of the month. I have things that I'm working on. Please, folks, if you can, please make a contribution. Subscribe to my YouTube show here. And thanks for watching. We'll see you later.